What's up guys, Riley back here with another video, and today we're going to be reviewing the Axial Yeti Jr. So, I have my little brother's Axial Yeti Jr. here, because mine is broke already. I had a bit of a problem with the front diff. I stripped some teeth in it, so I'm going to have to get some new ones. I do think that it's my fault. I was beating it a little hard. So yeah, when you beat things hard, they're going to break. But I am going to use my little brother's and show y'all this truck. So, we're going to start off with the outside appearance. So, as you can see, it is a Can-Am. It's a Maverick X3, so it looks really good. It's got little heads, and they turn. So they turn. Don't turn them too much. I think you might unscrew them. But yeah, got little heads, some people. The interior, it's got kind of an interior. Just for looks, it's not much of an interior, but it also is a soft body. It is not a hard body, but it does look like a hard body, but it's not. It does have a pretty strong roll cage, pretty sturdy too. It's plastic, not metal. I don't know if you can get a metal one or not, but that would be pretty cool. But it would also weigh it, make it more top heavy, and it's already pretty top heavy. So it's got these for the wheels. It's got the Bighorn 2.0 Maxes. I don't know what the wheels or not tires, but rims. Don't know what rims they are, but they look pretty good. These tires are actually really grippy, which is surprising for Axial because all the SCX 24s, their tires are just crap or garbage. So that was definitely a plus. Get some nice, good tires. You can get some paddle tires from Axial, which I might look at doing. It's got a axle in the back. This has an open diff, front and rear open diff, with the trailing arms instead of regular links. A-arms in the front. It's only one A-arm on the bottom, well, it's an A-arm, but then it's got a I don't know what you would call it, but it's got that piece to make it kind of like a dual A-arm setup, so that when you're driving and the suspension compresses, the wheels don't go in like that. But yeah, overall looks good. The body is really good. It's taken some beatings. The only thing is, his has broken from front end problems. So just right here is kind of broken, but I think that's just from nose diving and hitting first. So it's all right. It's you can't really see it either. I'm sure we could take some like duct tape and kind of reinforce it a little, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty sturdy. Also, what I really like is it's got the little exhaust port, and it's got the front bumper. And when the body's on it, if I can find the body mounts, when the body's on it, it fits really good with the bumper, and I'm very happy about that. So let's go ahead. As you see, it looks really good. We're going to go ahead and get on the inside of this thing. So, I've got it open. Now, it took a while for me to do this video. I filmed it once, and I kind of trashed it. It wasn't my best video. And that gave me time to actually use this thing. So, they've taken a beating, and because my front diff, some gears stripped in it, I had to take it apart, and we will talk about that in a second. So, going over this, it may not look like it, but this thing is waterproof. The reason I say it may not look like it is because the receiver looks pretty open, but it actually has at least I think why it's waterproof, is because of the metal on the that's covering up the electronics. So what you see right there is almost like a little plate piece that goes over the electronics to seal it. So I'm assuming that's how it works, but I have no clue. The shocks are very cushy. They are oil. They're not bouncy at all. They're really good. This thing jumps super good. I don't know what they did, but they really balanced it really good for jumping. But once you mess with the suspension some, like tuning, because these are adjustable shocks, so they've got the little piece right here that you can use to adjust. Once you start tuning them, you know, you're going to mess with different things. Some things are going to be good, like the jumping, and other things aren't. This thing, when you're going, it is prone to flipping over because the battery is all the way up there. It's literally at the highest point of the chassis. And it's a pretty decent sized battery too. So if I get the little door open and pull the battery out, it's a pretty good sized battery. I'm used to smaller batteries because I have SEX 24s. But I do have a few bigger trucks like the Slash and all. But that's a really good battery. It's 1300 milliamp hour. It's got a very good run time, and we charge ours on an S150 Spectrum charger. It's a smart charger. I really like it. I use that for the SEX 24s, and then this just so happened to fit it. So I'm very happy about that, not having to use that hunk of junk charger that comes with this. And it charges it way faster. So the motor is a 37 turn, 380 can. It's brushed. You can go brushless. This cannot support a LiPo, which really sucks. I think that really messes with the price some. I think that if it was able to take a LiPo, I think more people probably would have bought this, because it's kind of a bummer that you can't. The steering, I think the servo is good enough for now. I do think they could have gone with it just a little bit stronger of a servo, but there's plenty of servo upgrades out there, including the EcoPower. I think it's 12 gram, if I'm correct, high voltage. And then they have some Shifts RC and all that will fit this too. So I'm probably going to look into just a little bit bigger of a servo, because sometimes this will struggle, especially when you have the steering dual rate down. The next thing is these little, like the turnbuckles and stuff, you can't adjust any of them. So if you bend anything, you're just going to have to replace it. It's not something where you can adjust the wheels, which kind of sucks, because you can't kind of mess with your performance some, you know, towing in and out. So yeah, not the happiest about that. Now we're going to go on to the insides. I'm not going to take it apart, but we're going to talk about the insides. So if you take this truck apart, in order to get into it, you have to take this cover off. This cover holds the motor, keeps it meshed. It holds the steering, so that little black piece has a little rod. It's not screwed in or anything. It's just a rod. It goes into this, the top piece, and the chassis. And then it's the same on the other side. So once you pull that up, the steering can come out, the motor can come out and unmeshed, which really sucks. You have to remesh it every time you have to work on it. And the two front bolts on this cover actually hold part of the diff down. So I get that it is a small vehicle, a very small working space. If I get the SEX 24 here, it really isn't much, like, it really isn't that much bigger. It's obviously longer, taller, and wider, but it's an 18th scale, so yes, it's going to be bigger. but it really isn't like a massive vehicle, so they do not have much room for anything. So I'm with them on that, but it really does suck that you take this cover off and you're basically undoing everything. And also, to undo the front bumper, taking the front bumper off to work on it, you end up having to take the A-arms and stuff off too, because these screws, 2 screws right here, is what hold the A-arms on. Going over to the A-arms, trailing arms and all, they are very strong. This thing has taken wheel collisions. If you don't know what I mean by that, is I'll be driving and then, you know, whatever happens and I just, one wheel hit something, and it's really held up to that, which is very good. And we've ran into each other multiple times when racing and such, and they're just really fun vehicles. If you're wondering how fast this thing is, I don't know the exact speed, but the remote, which is an STX2, had to look, right there has 50, 75, and 100% throttle. So that definitely helps. So on 50, it's got a pretty good speed. I think it's got a speed of about an FMS in second gear. So I don't have the body on it, but this in second gear is probably as fast as this in 50% throttle. And then 75% is where your wheels kind of start to spin in the dirt, which is good. And then 100%, this thing is really quick. I think it'll go 12 to 15 mile an hour, which is definitely quick for a little buggy, whatever you want to call it, like this, especially as small as it is. But here's the receiver compared to it, or transmitter, sorry. I don't know if I keep calling it a receiver through the video, but I mean, it's the same size as a transmitter, it's just a little bit wider. But yeah, so as you see, it's a pretty small vehicle. On to electronics. The electronics are really good. I like the little noise it makes. So if I turn it on here, it'll be a little quiet. And then if you turn the remote on, when it connects, so it's making a lot of little noises. So as you see, now that we have it on, the steering's pretty fast, but once you're in the grass and stuff, it kind of slows down a lot. Steering slow isn't the best, it's very jittery. It's kind of like the eyes of somebody. When you're looking, you're scanning across, you know, your eyes kind of pinpoint little areas. So that's kind of what the steering's like on this. But 100%, it takes off pretty good. So that's really nice. It is on some pretty slick wood. I don't have much room to get it to actually go. But running will be in the next video. So, I looked for some parts for this, since I had to work on mine, and you cannot get any front metal diff gears, which really sucks, especially as quick as I strip mine. So I'm going to have to get some plastic ones. Hopefully they don't strip as quick next time. But the rear you can get metal axles and a locker for, which I think I'm going to do, because this has open diffs and they're really loose. So because this is top heavy, it'll flip over, and it's not something where you can just turn and then hit the gas and get it back down. Just because the diffs are so open, these wheels on the top will spin, but these wheels are getting no power at all. So I think if I lock the rear end, then I might be able to hold a two-wheel, I don't really know what you call it. But yeah, this thing is a fun vehicle, $175 if I'm not mistaken. I think it's worth most of the price. The only downfalls are the lipos. You can't run lipo without upgrading it. Upgrading receiver, whatever. And then you can't really get many parts for it. But other than that, it's a quick video. It is pretty fast, honestly. And yeah, so that'll be about it for the review. It might have been a little scrambled. I'm kind of going off the top of my head with this. So that's why I had to scrap the last video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. If you want to look at this video online, a link will be in the description. But yeah, if you want to see more content on this, or if you have any tips, or anywhere I can get some parts for this, please let me know. Because I have no clue where to get parts for this. And so, yeah, that'll be about it, guys. Like and subscribe, and I will see you later.